Hello and welcome to the Vox Box of the European Parliament in Brussels. I'm here with Clive Jefferson. Clive, I'd like to start off talking about Maryport. As you know, Cumbria is part of my constituency as an MEP. It's very much my business, and you were one of the candidates in Maryport, where we bucked the trend of what was, because of UKIP, overall a miserable election for us and all the minor parties. Maryport was different, wasn't it? What happened there?
It was, Nick. It was our target ward for the Northwest. Certainly it was a target ward, but a target ward with a little bit of a difference, because we didn't bring anywhere near the manpower into a target ward that the viewers and yourself are used to in a British National Party target ward. It was a very scalable event. 3 or 4 people running that election, really, and that was it. Dawn Charlton, tremendous candidate. She's a town councillor in Maryport, as you know. I was the candidate in the Maryport North, which was the next ward along, both wards making up the main town on the west coast there. We done a good job and we got a good vote. Dawn pulled 41%, which, you know, not to win with 41%.
Yeah, I was spitting feathers. I did look at that, and I looked at some of UKIP's victories around the country, and they were winning with 25% with 30% turnouts. We got, a 40% turnout and 40% of the vote, 41%. Quite remarkable. I think it's worth reiterating for people as well that this was actually, the target really was the whole of Maryport. That was a lot of effort by a small number of people put into 2 county council seats.
Yes.
Now these are enormous. That's what, 6 district council seats?
Yes, more probably.
And that really is. So what we discovered was that the effort which made such a huge difference could be done in a district council seat, I would say comfortably, by 2 people working hard. I'm not underestimating what Dawn did in particular. She was out, day after day after day, I know. But it was 1 person out day after day. And I think the district council seat, 2 people could crack it. Is that right?
2 people can crack it. There's no question about that. And bearing in mind that we run Central Party as well, and we didn't start early enough, I suppose. But if you start the plan, obviously, with carrying on in Maryport, building on the tremendous success there, and carrying on right through Cumbria, the Northwest and the country, we've got to start now, this week, next week. And then what is a huge task in the end of a by-election, or the end of a major election cycle, suddenly becomes a couple hours once a week.
Yes.
And it really is doable.
Yeah.
But I'd like to thank Dawn for being a tremendous candidate and the work she put in. I'd like to thank the people that did come up and help, because we had a few key people come up to help us with that, to learn what we were doing. Everybody's got on board with that. We've proved the system works. Absolutely, undoubtedly. There's no question about that. And that vote there, that was the highest nationalist vote in the country as well.
By far.
By far, in the whole country. So it does work. We also proved other things as well in that election. Both myself and Dawn beat UKIP resoundingly as well. Dawn got 811, I think the UKIP candidate was 121, something like that. So where we take them on in a street war, if you like, where we're fighting properly, we absolutely decimated them. Yeah,
particularly so, I thought, because if you look at past election results in Maryport, and after all, Dawn's been a candidate before, so this time 4 years ago, I think her vote was about 15% of the vote? Something like that?
Yeah, she got 318, I believe, or 308. So
talking more than 2.5 times the vote.
2.5 times the vote,
when the tide at present is against us, there's no 2 ways about it, and thrashing UKIP. Fascinating. The thing, as you know, I came up a couple of times, did a bit of helping out. The thing I found most instructive on the doors was I've lost count of the number of times in by-elections and campaigns for elections. We've walked past the doors where you've got the electoral register and there's no one registered to vote. And we thought, they're not interested in politics, walk on by. And knocking these doors, as we tried in the system in Maryport, they were keen, those people on average, some of them still say no, but on average I found those people keener to register to vote and get a postal vote and be involved They're the ones already registered.
Yes.
Absolute. It's astounding. Part of my job as an MEP, part of the whole sort of ethos of the thing, is to encourage turnout, to encourage people to vote.
Yep.
And this is the way. It's a matter of knocking on the doors of working class households where people have given up on politicians because they think they don't bloody care about us. And just by knocking and taking time, especially when it's pouring with rain like it was a couple of days, you're showing you do care, and they get on board. And that's this huge gap of people.
Yes.
You know, people wonder where's our gulf, because UKIP are taking some of our votes, some of the Tory votes, some of the Labour votes, a lot of the Lib Dem votes. Where's our gap? They're the people no one else bothers with. That's ours.
It's the 10% that aren't even registered.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people, like you said, very excited, voting for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, excited, engaged by it, energised by it. And it's just a shame. I mean, I don't want to finish this little interview on a low point, and I also don't want people to think that we're saying it was sour grapes. But as you know, as well as all the campaign team, there was a lot of problems with registration with the council. There was a lot of problems with people not getting the postal votes through, and the proxy votes didn't get registered.
Yeah.
A lot of problems.
Well, I know I was there on the day, as you know, knocking doors to whip people in, and people were furious about the fact they'd applied for postal votes.
Yes.
A lot of them were actually disenfranchised by the council because they could have voted the old-fashioned way. They've applied for a postal vote to make it easier, and they don't get it at all. And then they were told they couldn't vote. I came across people, women in tears, and blokes really angry at what the council had done to them. If it hadn't been for that, we'd have won. As I said on the day of the count, we actually won Maryport South. You were a long way behind in your patch because more work went into Maryport South and it's more our kind of ward. But we won that vote, and it's the first. In a way, it's sort of bittersweet, but something that really pleases me is we know there's been electoral fraud in the past. It's the stuffing ballot boxes late in the evening when no one's watching, this sort of thing. We know that's gone on, but it's never been absolutely obvious, and it's only ever affected us, our candidates, our campaign workers. It's never affected the public. And I know, because I've met some of them and spoken to them there and then, that this has affected dozens, scores, perhaps several hundred people in one ward in Maryport. They've been robbed, in their eyes, by the council of their councillor they wanted to elect. I think it's very, very good that we've developed this system, which is so effective that it's pushed a particularly unpleasant council near the Maryport Labour mafia to that sort of level. And I think that I'm sure that when we roll it out in better places, where actually we've got a firmer level of support to start with, this is a winner. It is.
And Maryport South isn't finished yet. We'll have to see what develops. The police are investigating. There might be election petition on that one. We'll have to see. But the good news is we'll finish it now. But the news for everybody is that the new system, the new techniques, the work, we're very excited about it, and we'll be rolling them on.
Yeah. So there you go. Don't sit around saying, oh, UKIP are taking our votes, there's nothing we can do. When we take them on, we can beat them. We developed a system which more than doubled our vote against the trend. We've shown it can work. All you've got to do to be part of that, to stand a really good chance of being a councillor in just over 11 months' time, is to get in touch with us, get involved, follow the programme, be a winner. Thank you.